Alright folks, well I've got the Achilles A15SE here. Had it for a few months now. It's been a pretty awesome machine. I've put over 40 hours on it already, so it has been working. But I was coming back up here after just doing some work in some fairly thick scrub, and the track has come off. So as you can see, track's come off. So I thought I'd do a video because I didn't have a clue how to fix it. So Achilles doesn't seem to have any videos on how to fix it, so I thought I'd do a video on how to fix it, assuming that I can. I think there'll be a grease relief valve in here, undo these two nuts I'm assuming, and we'll release the grease, and then that'll release the tension on this tensioner here. You can see that slides through there. That'll allow me to put the track back on there, and then I'll have to pump it back up with grease. So let's see if my hypothesis is correct. I'll be back with an update. Rightio, so next step, we've popped this off with 12mm drill bit. In here, looks like we've got two lock nuts and then another nut there, which will let the oil out, or the grease out by the look of it. So we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll update you with the next step. Righto, so we've loosened those two lock nuts, and now I've started loosening this, which I thought was going to let us into a grease nipple, but no, this one is mechanical and not hydraulic, in that the grease doesn't actually create the tension, the thread on this nut does, which is fantastic for me because I was actually out of grease in my grease gun. So I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to go and get grease. Turns out no, by the look of it, I'll just have to keep loosening this until I can get that back on, and then I can tighten that back up, put those lock nuts back in place, and we're in business. So for me, for the Achilles, that's actually a bit of a plus for me, because it makes things a little bit easier when you're out here in the scrub doing a bit of work to fix it. So as I said, these were 12mm. That there is 16. I don't know what that is. It's about 30, but I've been using I just use shifters for that one just to get those off because it was much easier. Anyway, I'll get back to you, but yeah, the Achilles A15SE, not too bad. It's pretty good. Alrighty, we are getting there. I've got most of the track back on. I'll show you just about how far I had to wind it back. So I might have to wind it back further, but we'll see how this goes. So it's nearly in line with the hole there, which I assume that hole's there to allow you to wind it back further if you need to. That's how far I've gone back. It's a bit fiddly, not too bad. Now I've got these teeth back over the holes, and in line with that as best I can. I've made sure because these are actually metal teeth, even though they're coated in rubber, and then back over that guide bar, obviously all the way on that non-driving sprocket. I'll turn it on, I'll drive it backwards, and hopefully that'll drive the track back on. Then I'll tighten it back up. Job done. Okay folks, yep, so I have done that back up so it's nice and tight again, and I'll just put this plate back on there and we will be done, back in business, good to go. Alright, so job done, that's back on, track's back on, everything's sort of sorted. The only thing I didn't say at the very start is what you do need to do, and just be careful when you're doing it obviously, is you need to use your bucket to lift this, whatever track's come off, you need to lift the track off the ground slightly, which is a bit complicated, more complicated in this one because you might not be able to see, but there's actually a bit of tilt on that land as it is, which is part of why the track came off. So just be careful if you are doing it, but you do need to lift the track off so you can get the actual track itself on and off the pulleys. But that's all done now. Hopefully you found this video a bit more instructional. I know my other videos have just been a bit more show and tell. I'll start trying to do a few more that are like this, that are a bit more instructional, especially with the equipment that I've got on the property. So as I say, the Achilles A15SE, it's got a Kbota engine in it. I've done over 40 hours on it in the first few months. And you know, this was operator error, this wasn't anything to do with the machine. So it's been a great machine so far, really good value machine so far. I'll keep you updated.